Okay, here on number 2, we've got an order for oxacillin sodium, 400 milligrams, and a muscular stat. Now, the label here was not clear enough for you guys to be able to read it, so I went ahead and typed it all out. And I think you'll have one of these that it might be on your homework or your quiz or something that I couldn't get a good enough visual on the label, so I had to type it out for you. But you'll see here that, it's equivalent to 2 grams of oxacillin sodium for injection. It's for intramuscular or IV use. This vial contains oxacillin sodium. I'm not going to try. I'm sorry. Equivalent to 2 grams of oxacillin and 40 milligrams of dibasic sodium phosphate. It says to add 2.7 milliliters of sterile water for injections, and each 1.5 milliliter is going to contain 250 milligrams of amoxicillin. And it even talks about the usual dose. You remember that the safe dosage range that we talked about in week 5. Okay, that's where this stuff's coming back into play at. Okay, so the first question wants to know, what is the concentration strength after it's been reconstituted? Okay, that's going to come in right in through here where it says that each 1.5 milliliters contains 250 milligrams. All right, so we can write that as 1.5 mil is 250 milligrams. You could also flip that if you needed to and write it as 250 milligrams is 1.5 milliliters. Okay. Second question wants to know, how much diluent will you add? Right in above this piece in yellow, it tells us that 2.7 mils of sterile water. Okay. The next question wants to know, how many milliliters will you give? Well, this goes back to milliliter per dose, our dimensional analysis stuff. So milliliter per dose, our first fraction is going to need some milliliters in it, right? Our order is only written for milligrams, but from that label, we said that 1.5 mil is 250 milligrams. So be sure and stack the milliliter on top, since that is our desired answer. And that's going to put milligrams at the bottom. Hopefully we can jump straight to our order, as long as that unit is the same, which it is. It says 400 milligrams, right? So we won't need that conversion that we needed on example 1. Because our units are matching, we are ready to go. We have milliliter on top, dose on bottom. So we can multiply the top and get 600. Multiply the bottom, we get 250. We can divide those numbers and get 2.4 milliliter per dose. Now keep in mind that if you're doing an intramuscular injection here, that we want our answer, our dose, to be smaller than 3 mils. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind, that anytime you're giving intramuscular, your dosages need to be smaller than 3 milliliters. And ours is, so we're good to go. Now if you come up with something, intramuscular injection, that's supposed to be 5.6 milliliters, go back and double check something. That's too big. Okay, that's really going to hurt your patient. So always just make sure it's smaller than 3 mils.